Everybody celebrates the baby, but nobody checks on the mother. A woman carries a child for 9 months. Her body stretches, her hormones crash, sleep disappears, her identity shifts, and she goes through one of the most traumatic and transformative experiences a human body can ever endure. And the first question everyone asks is, how's the baby? Welcome back to Unfiltered Exposure, a space where we drop the filters, we speak raw truth, and we tell stories that deserve to be seen and heard. Today, this isn't just a cultural observation, it's personal. Because when my son was born, I witnessed the pain, the sacrifice, the strength. And when things got tense between us afterward, I let my ego get louder than my empathy. Forgot what I saw in the delivery room. And recently, something happened that reminded me. I was talking to someone that I used to date. She recently had a baby, and I asked her two simple questions. How's postpartum treating you? How's your mental health? Surprisingly, she paused and she said, and I quote, "You are the first person to ask me about my mental health. Usually people just care about how the baby is doing. It's not because they have bad intentions, but they tend to quickly dismiss the mom. And I thank you for asking me that." And her answers sat with me for a second, not because I'm the most empathetic person on the planet, not because I deserve an applause, but because I have lived this. I have witnessed postpartum up close, and I have also been the man who let pride override my compassion. So this episode isn't coming from judgment, it's coming from experience, from growth, from accountability. So let's get unfiltered. I still remember the delivery room, the intensity, the pain, the breathing, the fear in her eyes, the terrible headaches post-epidural shot, the strength she didn't even know she had. I witnessed a woman push life into this world. I saw tears, blood, exhaustion. I saw sacrifice in real time. And for a moment, I understood what motherhood truly meant. But here's the hard truth. When me and the mother didn't get along afterward, I let pride override perspective. Instead of remembering what I witnessed in that room, I prioritized how I felt. And instead of checking on her healing, I focused on my ego. Here's one thing about ego that we normally don't talk about. Ego will convince you that your feelings are the only ones that matter in that room. It narrows your vision until all you can see is your pride, your hurt, your need to be right. And when ego takes over, compassion becomes secondary. Empathy becomes optional. You stop responding to reality and start reacting to your own emotions. Ego is not just a defense mechanism. It doesn't just protect you, it blinds you. It makes you forget context. It makes you forget what you witnessed. It makes you forget the bigger picture. And stay with me on this. And when ego is loud, empathy and compassion get quiet. And at that time, I chose ego. Because we weren't aligned, because we argued, because I felt misunderstood. So instead of leading with compassion, I chose distance. I disappeared for a while and told myself I was giving her space. But the truth is I was hurting inside, hurting from not being able to see my son for a few weeks, hurting from feeling disconnected and not being able to bond with him. And when I look back now, I realized something powerful. I forgot what I saw in that delivery room. I forgot the sacrifice. I forgot that even if we weren't good together, she still deserves support as the mother of my child. Now, let me be clear about something. My admission of letting ego take over doesn't automatically make her innocent in everything that happened between us. Because it takes two to tango. And for any relationship to work, both people have to be willing to sacrifice. And both people have to be willing to put their ego aside. And that's reality. But this conversation isn't about who was right or wrong in the relationship. This is about something bigger. This is about how, as men, we should be more mindful in how we respond to a woman after she gives birth. Because postpartum isn't a relationship debate. It's a recovery season. And even if communication is tense, even if emotions are high, even if the relationship is struggling, childbirth has still happened. The physical trauma still happened. The hormonal crash still happened. The psychological transformation still happened. So this is not about exonerating anyone. It's about elevating ourselves. And that realization humbled me. When I was protecting my pride, her body was crashing hormonally. Estrogen and progesterone dropped dramatically after childbirth. The CDC reports that 1 in 8 women experience postpartum depression. Dr. Alexandra Sachs explains, matrescence is a developmental transition as profound as adolescence, which means she wasn't just tired, she was transforming psychologically, physically, emotionally. And instead of asking, are you okay? I'll let tension dictate my behavior. That's not leadership, that's immaturity. So now let's talk men to men for a second. Sometimes when relationships break down after birth, we convince ourselves she's difficult, she's emotional, she's changed. But childbirth changes a woman neurologically. Harvard research shows parental mental health impacts child development long-term. If she's overwhelmed and unsupported, that energy transfers into the environment your child grows in. So when I withdrew emotionally, I wasn't just distancing myself from her. I was destabilizing the support structure around my son. And that realization hurts because I pride myself on being a present father. But presence isn't just showing up for the child. It's supporting the ecosystem around the child. Here's the hard truth. In many cultures, men are not taught how to support women emotionally after birth. We're taught to provide financially. We're taught to protect physically. But emotional support, that requires humility. And humility wasn't my first response. Pride was. There is a famous quote by a psychologist named John Gottman. It says, the most successful couples are those where the man is willing to accept influence from his partner. I wasn't accepting influence, I was resisting it. And resistance creates distance. Distance created damage. Growth required accountability. To my brothers out there who are listening, hear me out. Even if the relationship doesn't survive, respect must. Even if you're not aligned romantically, compassion must remain. Because postpartum isn't about relationship drama, it's about recovery. It's about survival. It's about mental health. And if I could go back, I will ask her more questions. How are you feeling? Are you overwhelmed? What do you need? Instead of asking, why are we arguing? You know, growth is being able to say, I was wrong in that moment and becoming better because of it. So this episode isn't about shaming fathers. It's about awareness. It's about remembering what we witnessed in that delivery room when a woman risked her life to bring a child, your child, to this world. So to all my fellow brothers out there again, even if you two didn't work out, you should honor her, support her, respect her, and let your empathy and compassion be louder than your ego. Because checking on the mother is checking on your legacy. And I learned that the hard way. And I'm gonna leave you with this. Growth is a lifestyle, and leadership starts with accountability. This was another episode of the Unfiltered Exposure podcast. And if this resonates with you, like, share it, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next episode. Good night.